Have you ever said something like, "I'm very happy," or "That movie was very good," and then felt like, this sounds a bit basic. Maybe you understood everything. Maybe your sentence was correct. But deep inside, you felt like your English didn't sound powerful, not impressive, not natural. And here's the truth most learners don't realize. The problem is not your grammar. The problem is one small word, very. You see, very is not wrong. It's easy, it's safe, and it helps you communicate. But when you use it all the time, your English starts to sound repetitive and a little bit weak. Think about it. If you say very big, very small, very tired, very interesting, again and again, your sentences don't have color. They don't have personality. And I know why you do it. Because it's easy. Because when you don't know another word, very becomes your best friend. But today, I want to show you something simple that can completely change how you speak English. Not in a complicated way, not like a classroom lesson, just in a natural, real-life way that you can actually use. Let me tell you a small story. Imagine you're talking to a friend after watching a movie. You say, "That movie was very good." Your friend understands you. Of course. But then another person says, "That movie was amazing." Same meaning, but different feeling. Amazing sounds stronger, more confident, more expressive. Now imagine this. You come home after a long day. You sit down and say, "I am very tired." That's okay. But what if you say, "I am exhausted"? Now the person listening doesn't just understand you. They feel your tiredness. That's the difference. When you stop using very and start using stronger words, your English becomes more alive. And the best part, you don't need to learn hundreds of new words. You just need to replace a few common ones. Let's make this real. Picture yourself in the morning. You wake up late. You rush to get ready. You miss your bus. And you arrive at school or work feeling very angry. But instead of saying very angry, you say, "I'm furious." Just one word, but suddenly your sentence has power. Now imagine you're talking about food. You go to a restaurant. You taste something new, and you say, "This food is very good." That's okay. But if you say, "This food is delicious," it sounds more natural, more confident, more like a fluent speaker. Let's go deeper into real life. You're texting a friend. They ask, "How was your day?" You type, "It was very bad." That sounds simple. But what if you say, "It was terrible"? Now your message feels stronger, clearer, more expressive. Do you see what's happening? You're not changing your idea. You're just choosing better words. And I want you to notice something important here. Fluent English is not about long sentences. It's not about big grammar rules. It's about choosing the right word at the right time. That's it. Let me give you another situation. You meet someone new, maybe at school, maybe at work, and later you tell your friend she is very nice. That's okay. but it sounds common. Now imagine you say, "She is kind," or even, "She is lovely." Now your English sounds more natural, more human, because real conversations are not about very this and very that. They are about feeling. Let's imagine another moment. You are studying. You read a book and you want to explain it. You say, "The book is very interesting." But what if you say, "The book is fascinating"? Now the person listening feels your excitement. And this is what I want you to understand. When you use better words, people connect with you more. They don't just understand your English, they enjoy it. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What if I don't remember these words? That's normal. You don't need to remember everything today. Just start small. Next time you want to say "very tired," pause for a second and try to remember "exhausted." Next time you say "very big," try "huge." Next time you say "very small," try "tiny." You don't need to be perfect. You just need to try. Let me tell you something honest. Even fluent speakers don't think about grammar all the time. They don't stop and analyze every sentence. They just use the words they know naturally. And that's exactly what you're building. Natural English. Let's imagine one more real situation. You're talking to your teacher or your boss. You want to sound a bit more confident. You say, "I'm very happy with my progress." That's good. But if you say, "I'm really pleased with my progress," it sounds smoother. Or even, "I'm proud of my progress." Now your sentence has emotion. And that's the key. Language is not just about words. It's about feeling. When you replace "very" with stronger words, you express your feelings better. And people notice that. Now let's talk about mistakes. Because I know something. Sometimes you try a new word and you're not sure if it's correct. Maybe you feel shy. Maybe you feel nervous. So you go back to "very" because it feels safe. But here's the truth. Growth is not safe. If you always use the same words, your English will stay the same. But when you try, even if you make small mistakes, you improve. So next time, don't be afraid. Say the new word. Use it in a sentence. Try it in a conversation. That's how fluency grows. Not in silence, but in action. Let's imagine a simple conversation. Your friend says, "Are you okay?" You say, "I'm very scared." That's okay. But if you say, "I'm terrified," your message becomes stronger and your confidence grows, one word at a time. Now think about your daily life. Think about the words you use again and again. Very tired, very happy, very sad, very big, very small, very good. These are your opportunities. Each one is a chance to upgrade your English, not by learning something difficult, but by making a small change. And small changes create big results. Let me tell you something important before we finish. You don't need perfect English to speak confidently. You don't need a big vocabulary. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. You just need to express yourself clearly. and keep improving step by step. And today, you've already taken one step. You've learned that one small word, very, can be replaced. You've seen how simple changes can make your English sound stronger. And most importantly, you've started thinking differently about the way you speak. So the next time you open your mouth to speak English, pause for just a second. Ask yourself, can I say this in a better way? And try. Maybe you'll get it right. Maybe you won't. But every time you try, you grow. And that's what matters. Keep speaking. Keep practicing. Keep improving, one word at a time. You're doing better than you think. And your English is already getting stronger. Thanks for watching, and keep going.